Alright, so here's another lawnmower transmission video. This is off the Troybilt pony that I use here. Y'all seen it in a couple of videos. I haven't even got the one back in the old Montgomery Ward yet. And this one decided to lose forward gear. You'll see in a video clip here in just a second. I go flying backwards. I end up mowing the whole yard going backwards. So I'll put a couple clips in right now. The first one will be of what it was doing. Sometimes it would lunge and kick in, other times it wouldn't. I'm suspecting the shifter fork to be worn out. It appears to be a common problem on these due to lack of lubrication. So we want to do that and put a better type of grease in it. Well, first we got to tear it apart and see what we need for it. We'll take the pulley off first. The differential part appears to be good. Like I said, reverse works fine. I mowed the whole yard going backwards. Took about 45 minutes to mow here. So kind of dizzy after that. And a little missed spots here and there, and the motor tends to clump more going backwards than it does going forward. So, alright, so let's tear it apart and see what's going on with it. I don't know how I feel about that being like a star pattern holding that on. Kind of like the old keyway setup like the old one had. But, I don't know, I guess it works. I never seen one fail here. It's always been something else. But, it is what it is. It comes right off. And it's spline just like the old ones are almost. It's different. So that's a replaceable piece, kind of like a blade adapter is. Alright, so they're all 3/8 drive bolts. And this one they're all the same length. The other one they're all different lengths. So I got the whole brake assembly off here. I'm not going to mess with it besides just cleaning it up a little bit. The brake disc comes off like this with a spline on it instead of a keyway. Kind of like that better. See, we've been losing some grease here, which is typical on these. But anyway, we got all the bolts loose, I do believe. Sorry I didn't show taking it off the mower, but there's not a whole lot to see. Well, that's about a nasty mess, ain't it? You can see some metal shavings in it. The grease has a weird smell to it. Missed the bolt. I suspect this is going to be the problem. There's the ball for the detent on that. It actually don't look worn. So we must have some other type of problem going on here. Alright, let me check it out a little bit and see if we can figure out what's going on here. Alright, so I took the intermediate shaft or jack shaft, whatever you want to call it, out. This is the reverse gear and this is the forward gear. This is the shifter. Your fork rides in here and moves it back and forth on there. If you look on this, the edges are rounded off compared to the reverse side. See there, it's all chewed up on each corner on that. And this is wore out too, compared to this. Kind of get it in the same shot so you can see what I'm talking about. This has a nice crisp edge on it. These are all rounded over. So what's happening, reverse is working fine. It's locking up just right. The forward gear, however, while it seems like it's working alright right here because it's getting 100% full engagement and there's no torque on it, what's happening, you can't see right there, it's probably not sitting all the way in there. When that load hits it, it's camming out just because of that tapered part. So we need a new selector, whatever this piece is called, and this one gear's got to be replaced. This gear is fine. So the shifter fork is also fine, so that is not the problem. Even though that's a very common failure on these, it'll wear out on one side and not allow it to engage all the way. That's what happened. So we need a gear and the selector piece. Now in a pinch, like if I had to mow right now, I could put these on backwards, put the reverse gear over here, flip this piece around, and the forward gear would work, but it's going to act up in reverse. So in a pinch, if you don't want to put money into it, but you got to get your grass cut and don't mind not having reverse, you can switch everything around and get by with it for a little bit. But you already got the parts, we might as well fix it. There's really nothing you can do. Like, I'm a firm believer of trying to fix something instead of buying it, but I just don't see being able to save it, because you probably never get it right if I welded it up and grind it. And hopefully these parts are not very expensive. I do know this is around $40 or $50 for that, so we're probably somewhere around there for these. So I'm still going to clean everything up and repack it. This grease appears to have oil in it. As you can see, it's separating right there, so it's already a semi-fluid grease, and the gears were picking it up, so it is almost like it's got gear oil in it. Some of these are oil sealed. This one does not have a gasket or anything, so it's primarily grease packed, but you need a type of grease that flows, like a cornhead grease or a double aught, I believe is what it is. Several other different greases that'll work. You can also mix a regular type of grease in with gear oil. I used that Schaefer's 229 on the last one. Don't know how long it'll hold up or anything, because I've never used that type of grease and it's not even been on the mower yet. Like I said, the other one's still sitting on the floor. This is only a couple weeks later, about a week later after working on it. So we got to figure out what we got to get and try to find a type of grease for it. So, all right, we'll report back with some more parts. Also wanted to mention a couple of things. First of all, there is a number stamped in the case, 719-04017. That's the part number for the whole transmission and transaxle. Also note there's a bracket here where the pulley that changes sizes is mounted on, right in that area. And there's 2 bolts that go in right here in the front. So if you drop your 4 bolts and you don't want to let go, you got 2 bolts right here underneath an L-shaped bracket. It's kind of hard to get to, but that's what's holding it. So I'll also repack the needle bearings. They kind of sound dry, which is pretty typical for these. But yeah, you can definitely see a metal and all that, so all the grease has to come out of it, at least much as it possibly can. So, all right, I'll report back here in a minute when it's all cleaned up, and we'll get some parts ordered. All right, so after looking at the fork, it has a little bit of wear on it. You could probably get by with it. Get the camera to focus. But it is a sign of wear, so I went ahead and ordered a new one anyway, just so we can rule that out as a potential cause for future failure. New shift collar and the gear. Both these gears are the same part number, so you could flip it around and it'll work just fine as a temporary fix. So if I need to put it right back together to cut grass, you could easily do that right now, but I'm not going to do that. So the gear is $34.95. 717-04056 is this gear. If you want to replace both of them while you're in there, you can, but the reverse gear probably will be fine. But the clutch collar is what this is called. 718-04045 is $20.95. The fork is $29.99. Part number 611-0011 or 911-0011. That's a newer part number with the 9. So it's the same part number. So, and I ordered 2 tubes of the 229 grease just because I'm familiar with it and it seems to work good. Cornhead grease is recommended, as long as it's a semi-fluid and will flow when it's warm. So I ordered 2 tubes of it. Should be more than enough. 1 tube will probably be enough, but I can put the rest in my bucket and have it. So altogether, $133.97 for this repair. If you wanted to take it further, there is a little bit of play in these bearings. Just very slight play. These seals are okay, I mean more than likely. But I'm not changing none of that. It's not enough to worry about. And the new grease I'll be putting in there will help preserve it from wearing anymore. Everything else appears to be fine. So it's not a major repair, but it's bad enough. And I can't complain. This mower was given to me when we bought the house about 5 years ago. So I can't complain. It's a 2006 Troybilt. And also that part number is for this upper case, not the transmission. The mower's been good. I've had to do a few repairs you've seen in some previous videos, but for the most part I can't complain. Free mower, can't complain about anything. I also have another Troybilt. I think it's a Bronco. It has a blown up engine on it. We'll be doing something with that eventually too. So getting most of the parts cleaned up. I still got to clean the inside of this, but I want to go ahead and take out this pinion shaft. That's what I'm calling it. Input shaft, whatever it is. This one has like an E-clip on it. The other one, the old type, had a snap ring. I cleaned up this the best I could. This part don't matter. I got that. I cleaned up the gears the best I can. This is semi-sealed because it has like rivets holding on instead of bolts. You could cut them off and make it work, but we don't have a problem in there, so we want to skip that just to make things simple. I just wanted to show you how this was. I'm going to pop this clip off, and we'll take a look at this after I clean it up. And for whatever reason, there is a split ring clip underneath this as well, and that's got to come off before the shaft will come out. So I did discover another problem. I cleaned this up the best I could. There's your needle bearings in there. You probably see it already. This aluminum is cracking all the way around here. I thought it was just marks in the grease, the oil, but it's actually in the metal. And the places where it is, you can see it all the way through. So if I'd have seen this, I probably wouldn't have ordered the parts for it. But it could last a good long time, and it's probably just might have been like it the whole life of the motor. You just don't know. So we're just gonna go with it, and if it falls apart one day, we'll know what happened. The way they made this, you're not gonna be able to get all that grease out unless you pressure wash it. I'm not doing that. It'll be fine. I'm getting 90% of the grease out of it. It'll be alright. Alright, been about 3 or 4 days later, get the parts in the mail. This is the alternate part number I was talking about earlier. It appears to be exactly the same. It does appear to be made out of maybe a slightly different type of steel or something, but it shouldn't matter. It does appear to be the same. The length is the same. There's the new shift collar and the new gear. Alright, so let's get it put back together. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the main forward reverse shaft off camera. I'm just going to grease everything the best I can and go from there. Looks like 2 spacers here and 1 on that side. Alright, so I pulled the axle assembly out, packed this full of grease. Maybe too much, but it'll disperse itself once everything gets in there. Also put a little bit right here where the axle rides, just so when it gets hot and thins out, it's got more grease that can run into the sleeve bearings on the ends here. They've already been greased, so should be good to go on that part. Also note I squeezed in 2 more tubes of the 229 grease. Pretty good grease. It's should be a decent upgrade considering what's usually in these, which ain't much. I did take this out and pack the needle bearings. Not too worried about the little bit of dirty grease here and there. You're never going to get it perfectly clean unless you have a parts cleaner, parts washer, and can do all that, but it's not that super critical. Alright, so here's that put together. This gear will be separated just a little bit once it's actually in there. And that shift collar moves back and forth to select the forward and reverse. This is the new gear here, which is a reverse gear. This is the old gear here. Pack this in grease. Got the 2 spacers, 1 spacer here, pack that in grease. I put a minimal amount of grease on the inside of that, which is going to get heavily greased anyway. But we'll go ahead and drop this in. Drop the axle in first probably. And go from there. We'll look at it before we put the cover back on. Also, we'll talk about the shifter fork. Alright, so here it is. The only thing left to do is the shifter fork and put the top cover back on. Got everything pretty well packed in grease. Probably more than it actually needs, but I'd rather have a little bit more than enough than not enough. Too much and it won't cool. It can build up heat inside. Not enough, it won't coat anything. So you got to have a decent amount, at least in the bottom part. That way the gears get coated good. You can see this oil, that's just left over from the old grease in these parts of the case. It has nothing to do with the inner parts. So it should be good to go. I just wanted to share that with you. Also, I noticed another little minor detail. The spring for the detent on the shifter fork is located in the bottom part of the case. When the old model was it was installed on the top part. So that's a little bit of an upgrade. Makes it a little bit easier. Still got to put a little glob of grease there for the ball to sit in. Without that, it's going to be shifting in and out of gear constantly, and you don't want to deal with all that. So the shifter fork is pretty straightforward to install. You don't need to put extra grease on it. You can feel it fall into the groove there. That's what works the shift collar. It is appear to be in neutral right now. It's in the middle selector, which is fine. I'm going to put a little dab of grease right there to hold it. So it actually pulled the spring out in the process of doing that. This will also lubricate the fork as well. Make sure it shifts smooth. Put the little ball right there, just like that. Now you're ready to let that slide down in place. And it should spring up like that. And once you put the cover in, that'll compress that and hold that in place. And we should be good to go. We'll do a final little look over before I put the cover on. Make sure I didn't forget to do something. And then we'll go from there. So there's a little pin, or not really a pin, but a clip that goes onto the bottom of the shaft here. And the bottom of the pulley actually sits on it. It keeps the pulley from dropping too far and locking everything up on the top. And I had messed it up when I first took it apart. And I tried to put one of these like E-clips on it. Then a regular like snap ring like that. And it crushed both of them. It would not work right. So I had to end up straightening up the original ring. I'll put a picture in right now. For some reason it slipped my mind what that type of ring is called. But you have to have that on there. Because where it's rounded, when it puts pressure on there, it locks it in somehow. So, but it was wobbling the pulley. That's what it was making it sit crooked on there. So now everything's back together. I drill tested it. Nothing's heating up. Nothing's getting in a bind. Both gears work. You got the brake assembly put back on. I did lock it up by putting the brake disc on the opposite way. And it was not right. Now it's on there properly. You should be able to move this a little bit. Try to get that linkage hooked up before you put the whole transmission back in, just to make things simple. Put just a tiny smear of grease, a little light film on both axles where the wheel goes. That keeps the wheel from getting seized up on it. One of the wheels, I think it was this side, was very hard to come off, and that's probably why. So I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to put it back on the mower, and I'm probably just going to go ahead and end this video. And just a real quick update I'm going to throw in here before I sign off. Mower, I just cut the grass, about 45 minutes of mowing. Did perfect. Went through the gears, you know, forward and reverse several times, and no problems at all. Shifted like a brand new mower, just like it should. So hopefully this takes care of your problem on yours if this happens on yours. Hope this video helped you, and hopefully get your mower back on the, I was going to say back on the road again, but back on the grass again. So, alright guys, we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.